Welcome back to another Tiki Tuesday. I'm Brian Miller, and tonight we're going to have a ton of fun celebrating the Outrigger Inn from Long Beach, California. It's gone but not forgotten. Tonight's cocktail is going to be the Zombie. Oh, what a great cocktail. So, our Zombie, it's just chock full of goodness here, people. We've got golden rum. So put that to the camera so you can see it. Dark rum, pineapple juice, grapefruit juice, sugar, lime, grenadine, passion fruit, more rum. So all kinds of good flavors in the Zombie. Good to see you, Monique. Thanks for joining us tonight. And good to see you, Whitney, and a couple of hydrates coming in already. So I guess I better give my cocktail shaker a shake. That's right, when he says tons of fun. As opposed to Worlds of Fun, which was a theme park in Kansas City where I grew up. So this one's the Zombie, having it in our vintage Shriner's glass tonight. I figure the color is just going to look fantastic in there. Oh yeah. That looks great. All right. This shaker down, and cheers to all of you to another Tiki Tuesday. Cheers, everybody. Happy days. Now, the good thing about the Zombie is it's very alcohol forward if you're in the mood for that kind of drink, which I was tonight, so that'll work out perfectly for me. I was debating, I was like, Zombie, Blue Hawaiian. Zombie, Blue Hawaiian. Haven't had either in a while. Glad I went for the Zombie today. Good stuff. So let's see. Whitney redeemed hydrates. Here's cheers to Whitney. And Monique redeemed hydrate. Cheers to you, Monique. Monique, tell us about your new rum punch pod for your DrinkWorks beverage maker. That sounds really interesting. I definitely want to hear more about it. Yeah. I really enjoy mixing my own cocktails, but at the same time, like if you want consistency, or if you're having a party and there were people there who maybe they weren't sure what they liked or something like that, I think that cocktail machine would just be like the way to go, you know? I think that would be pretty spectacularly awesome to have. So hopefully you get a good use out of it, because I know I would certainly dig it. And it's funny that you mentioned that about the rum punch though, because I was just looking at some rum punch recipes. Oh, maybe last week or earlier this week, I'm not sure which, but it's funny how many of the different rum makers have like copyright or trademark certain recipes, so that if that recipe is published, they have to say, it's made with, it's only this kind of rum, not that you can't make it different, but anytime that the recipe is talked about publicly, they have to say that, or they're like violating the copyright or trademark. So it's kind of interesting. These crafty ways these rum makers can keep their name out there. Monique says she thinks I need one. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready for that. I certainly encourage everyone who wants one to grab one. I might just walk by and push that button 3 or 4 times a day. We'd be in all kinds of trouble. I do Tiki Tuesday from who knows where. That'd be crazy. But let me know what you guys are up to this week. It's a crazy, hectic week for me. Between the big Smithsonian project, which is really rolling along, and so I've got a ton to do on that this week, and a bunch of DC Comics Superman stuff I'm working on, and some Stargirl, and it's a little crazy, a a little intense, I guess is what I'll say. It's a little intense this week. So I'm glad to have a chance to unwind with you guys and hear about what you're up to this week. So that'll help me take my mind off my week. So it's a win-win for both of us. But I was doing some research into this Outrigger bar. So this place was, first of all, there's a bunch of closed tiki joints called Outrigger. But this is one that was in Long Beach, California. And it was like an entire hotel, tiki bar. It had its own like Polynesian restaurant on site called Mr. C's. And so it was kind of a big deal, but it's tough to find very much reference information. It was open in the 60s, and I think it's one of those that, it changed hands many times, and all the sort of original tiki flair got lost. But I loved their sign. I loved their big tiki idol, and I thought this is one that I'm going to have to feature because it's just, it's one of those like gone but not forgotten things. It's so cool, and it needs to be celebrated, right? It needs to be celebrated because there's too many of these places that have just gone by the wayside, especially now with COVID. So many of the tiki bars have not reopened yet. Oh, thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian Bringley. Whitney says, I'm officially on vacation. We rented a cabin and are just getting away from everything, thinking about taking the night ghost tour at the Stanley Hotel, aka the Overlook Hotel. Yeah, I've been to. Are you guys near Estes Park? Because I've been to that hotel. I know it's two hotels in the movie, right? One is for the interiors and one is for the exterior, something like that. But I've been to whatever the one is in Estes Park. Had maybe the worst bar service and dinner of my life there. But it's a tourist trap. I kind of expected it. But the ghost tour, that may be the best way to do it, is the ghost tour. But yeah, I thought it was cool to check that place out and visit for sure. But yeah, the friends we were with were not impressed with the food and drink options there. But what are you gonna do? Anytime you go to one of those big tourist spots, it's not all going to be good. Monique says, I've just been oogling how amazing my Star Wars travel tag art looks framed with its three-dimensional thing going on. Well, I think you had a fantastic job with the framing, Monique. I had so much fun making that art a few years ago, and the response obviously has been amazing. But I think the way you got it framed with that really glossy glass, it just makes it look so much more 3D. It looks like a little shadow box or something. So that was definitely a smart idea on the framing, and it just makes the art look better than it is. So well done, you. And thanks for taking the time to get that framed. It turned out really nice. I appreciate you collecting my artwork. It's weird, I have people who, like you guys, who know about my art, and then people who discover things, years after they came out. And so it's always interesting, people's reactions to different things, And the average person doesn't know a lot about artwork in general, and so they don't know, if it's official or not, which it is, and they don't know, how much time it took and how much effort goes into it. So I really appreciate you guys that collect. Whitney says, we are staying in Estes Park. That's the Stanley. Okay, yeah, that's the one that I've been to then. Whitney says, after I say this, I realize the tour is sold out. Aww, sold out the whole time while you're there. That's a bummer. I hate that. We were in Mallorca And the one thing on the island I wanted to do was they call it like the F1 tours. It's just the little like Polaris 3-wheelers that you get to buzz around. They work. It sound like fun to me. More fun than a scooter. And you know, typical thing. Everyone in the group's like, oh yeah, we want to do that. We want to do that. We want to do that. But no one wants to commit to a day, so we do all the other touristy things, and then like, you know, there's finally a day where it's like, oh, we should do that scooter thing, and of course they're like, oh no, we're booked up for 2 weeks now. You're just like, ah. Monique says, hey Monique, how'd you get that framed? And Monique says, custom metal frame with UV glass. Yeah, I have to tell you, she showed me pictures of the framing, and the glass is really glossy, and the black metal frame kind of works with the black border on the artwork, and so, you know, I tried to make the travel tags look three-dimensional anyway, but like with that glossy glass, it really, instead of looking like framed art, it looks like a shadow box. It's really cool. It looks like Monique shared a photo of it, so you can click on her photo and see it there. Thank you for sharing that, Monique. But he says, I bought that one along with a bunch of other stuff from Brian, which is all lost in the mail. No. Is it still lost in the mail? Did you tell me that? I don't think you told me that. The mail's been so horrible. I had a customer from Etsy. So, you know, I've got my main website, and then I have some things on Etsy. For people who, I just use that for discovery, because a lot of people might not find my website on their own, but they will already be on Etsy. And her item shipped 32 days ago. 32 days! And she still hadn't received it. And so I was just like, well, I don't care what it costs me. I'm sending you a replacement, you know. It's crazy. Woody says, that looks really cool. Monique says, it cost me $46.48 to get everything done. The framework was under 10, the rest was the glass. Yeah, I can believe that. Well, it looks great. It looks like it cost a lot more than that. So well done you. Yeah, the postal service is horrible right now. And this customer kind of complained to me and was like, you know, why don't you use another service? And I was like, actually, we did use another service. And of course, you know, I can send stuff DHL or UPS for about the same price as USPS. But the problem is, depending on where you are in the United States, those two services, they might just subcontract it out to the USPS anyway, which is what happened in this case. She's in New York City, and they're just like, they just dump it off to USPS anyway, and so it doesn't matter that I gave my money to someone else. They, you know, USPS still ends up with the package, so it's kind of ridiculous. Whitney says, your shipment along with my Star Wars Celebration prints from Dark Ink art are all lost. I filed a lost mail claim to see if it can be found. Well, that's good that you're proactive. Yeah, check the USPS website, because I know there's different times that you're allowed to file different things with them. There's also like deadlines. If you wait too long, then they won't do anything. Now, if I shipped it, it has some insurance on it. I think they only cover like the first $50 or $100 or something like that. But by all means, like, let me know what's going on, and I'll look into it as well. But I'll say that it's crazy. You know, some packages, you know, everything I ship priority, which is supposed to be 2 to 3 day, and in some instances it's taking 4 to 5 weeks. It's just wrong. And I wondered about Dark Ink, because I saw some people who bought mystery tubes got their Legends of Lando that way before they received the ones that they ordered from Dark Ink Art, which was like, I don't know, over a month before. So it's just crazy right now. And I saw that the stupid Postmaster General has announced that he wants to slow things down even more. Oh, the Tiki music is too loud. I can certainly turn that down. Thanks for letting me know. I can certainly turn that down. Okay, guys, let me know if that's better. It's really weird the way the audio works on here right now with the broken sound plug-in, because what I hear isn't what you guys hear. So I can have it turned down really low and it can be blasting on your end. So thanks for letting me know. Whitney says it's a bargain at 3 times the price. And then says, seems like everything in tubes is taking extra long. I think everything you've sent me in the last year has taken way longer than it should. Yeah, man. I mean, it's so nuts, especially the stuff I send priority. I mean, beyond the speed, it's also the insurance, you know, but it's just ridiculous. Yeah, and now the new postmaster's like, we want to raise rates and add an extra day to everything. And I'm like, what do you mean add an extra day? It's already shipping so much late. Like, what do you mean add an extra day? I'm like, you're insane. Woody says we ordered 3 prints from Dark Ink and think they waited until all the prints were in before shipping. Yeah, I can believe that. Quench Press says, aloha, mahalo. Woody says, this is much better. It sounds like we're in a bar and you have to yell to be heard. Yeah, that's too loud then. If it's still too loud, let me know. Like I said, I can barely hear it on my end, but I know that doesn't mean anything on your end, so happy to modify it. Just trying to avoid silence. Monique says, I have a great framer that tries to find me economical ways to frame because I put so much into art and always bring them a ton of stuff. This last batch was 7 pieces and all 7 only cost me $125. That is amazing, Monique. That is outstanding. I definitely have items that I've had framed where the glass alone costs more than that, so that is outstanding. Well done. Good on you. What's up, Quench Press? How are you doing? Quench and I were talking that some of the tiki bars here in Arizona are starting to reopen. And Quench is like, screw the DeJoy guy. He's human garbage. Yeah, right? Totally. And of course, he's in like a position that, you know, the administration has no authority over, so it's the gift that keeps on giving, or not delivering, as the case may be. And yes, I agree that he's human garbage. Whitney says, hey Monique, if my Star Wars tags show up, I may have to homage your frame design. Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, Quench Press and I were talking, and some of the Arizona tiki bars are reopening, and we were just kind of talking about, like, you know, what's the right thing to do? Like, what percentage of the population needs to be vaccinated before you know, start going back to those kind of places, and when's the right time and when's it safe and everything. So kind of interesting things to think about, or at least to look forward to. I mean, unfortunately, there's so many places in Arizona that have like outdoor patios, which I would feel semi-okay about, but most of these tiki bars are not one of them, so I certainly don't want to rush things. But it's nice to see the businesses surviving and thriving and coming back. I think that's really good. And I certainly want to support them in some way, shape, or form. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I'm definitely excited. I'm excited to see them. You know, we talk about all of our lost tiki bars here, you know, all the ones that don't make it. So we definitely want to support the ones that do. Keep them in business. Monique says, here's one from Joe Crony that I had commissioned last year. She put a picture up of the framing. Oh, yeah, I remember that sketch. Man, it's a beautiful sketch. It looks really nice framed, too. That matting and stuff, that looks great. Really like that. You know, Joe is such a great artist, but I think, like a lot of us with the pandemic, he's been doing a lot more sketches than before. And, you know, he's just really brought his A game to all those sketches and sketch cards and everything that he's been doing, and it's definitely inspiring to see that, for sure. I mean, I think as an artist, that when you see other artists kicking ass like that, it just makes you want to try harder, you know. At least it does me. Oh, and Monique's telling Whitney, hey, yeah, go ahead. Frame it up the same way. Why not? But yeah, Quinch, let us know your thoughts on Undertow and some of the tiki bars. Quinch Press says, I wouldn't do an outdoor patio just yet. I'm really torn about what to do once I have both doses of the vaccination. Yeah, agreed. You know, you want to support those places. You want to try to foster some sort of normalcy, but you also want to be like responsible. So it's tough. It's definitely tough. I get that. And then of course, you know, the good news is you're not spring breaking in Florida right now, right? With all that craziness. But yeah, I think I would definitely be more tempted for an outdoor spot than an indoor spot right now, if I was going to do something. But speaking of that, I think that Quinch Press is going to be a live, well, he may not be live guest on here. We can't decide. Hey, you guys let us know. So would you rather, if Quinch Press comes to do some mixology, it looks like probably the only time that would work for him would be a Saturday. Would you rather see us do a special Saturday stream or record it and work it into one of the Tuesday streams, like a part where we cut away and have like a recording for some mixology stuff? I kind of leaning towards doing like a Saturday stream for that, if you think you guys would tune in. So let me know how you feel about that. Probably a little bit earlier. We were thinking like maybe like sunset-ish here, so you know, an hour or 90 minutes earlier than I normally do the Tiki Tuesdays. And we would just set up out back, and Quinch would talk to us about some cocktails and make some cocktails and some alcohol and stuff, and it could be pretty cool. I think it could be really cool. Have our own little cocktail party. Whitney says, just been doing to-go orders and picking up, support and be safe. Yeah, I agreed. Most of our outdoor spots are in a tent, dining in between walls and under roof. Isn't that dining indoors? Yeah. Well, you guys are still like winter where you are. Arizona, until today, it's been like in the 70s and 80s. It's a little cool today. Whitney says 11 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. stream with all the drinks. That's funny. He says we have no social life, we will watch. Quinch Press is like, yeah. Well, you know, I think it'd be fun. We could, you know, just talk about different kinds of alcohol and different kinds of mixers, and make several cocktails and do some tastings, and you know, just be a good time. It'd be a lot of fun. Dare I even say educational? No. Couldn't possibly be educational. It could just be fun. So I'm just kind of hinting at the building in the background here. You know, the Outrigger sign is really cool, but their building wasn't anything really too special. Most of it made like an enclosed area with like a swimming pool and stuff. So like most of the action was all happening in like the pool area. And of course the tiki bar and stuff, right? So just kind of going to hint at some of this. Then we'll go in with the markers and do some shading and stuff. It should end up looking pretty cool, I think. But I love their sign, love their tiki idol. Quinch Press says, drink and draw. Well, now if we do the Saturday thing, I don't know that I'll be able to do any art, but we can definitely make some cocktails. So if I think we do it outside, it might be a little challenging to do more than that, but we'll make it work. It'll be cool. It'll be fun. It'll be a party. That's all we want, right? We want to have party time. We all know that I'm down for the drink and draw. You know, it's so weird. I mean, I say this all the time, but you know, I've been streaming for over a year now, and you know, before this, drawing live was like one of the things I was terrified of most. Like, I never showed anybody my artwork until it was like done or close to done, and only at like certain Comic Cons, if I had to, would I like draw live in front of people. I'd rather like go and do it in my hotel room. You know, I think a lot of artists are like that. And now, like, thanks to you guys, I'm so much more comfortable drawing live, and I've kind of let go of it a little bit too. And I understand that, like, you know, look, it's a sketch, and we're doing it while we're doing other things, and so it may not be perfect, and that's okay. Just like let it be what it is, you know. So I thank you guys for that. It's been a fun year and a fun ride. And in challenging times, you guys have made it so much more bearable. So I appreciate you all. Whitney says, Katie says, it's yet another tiki bar that looks like a Lutheran church. Oh, thank you, Kikan-san. Thank you so much. Long time no see. Thanks for following us. Yeah, does the tiki bar look like a Lutheran church, or does all Lutheran churches look like a tiki bar? It's like a chicken and the egg thing. But now that you make me think about it, we did have a Lutheran church when I was growing up that was close by with the really steep roof gables like that. I remember as a kid, we tried to like walk up it as far as we could before it got too steep. And you had to like come back down. I'm sure if they knew we were doing that, they would not approve, but I grew up in a small town long before the invention of the smartphone, so we kind of just did what we wanted. Whitney says, is that why we never see you draw the pencils? Oh, well, no. I mean, it would just take so long. That's not out of anything other than time management, really. I mean, you know, because I'm looking at photographs and I'm working out the placements of things, and that's like a whole other deal. Like even with sketch cards and sketch covers and stuff, I would never want to subject anybody to that. I was trying to think. I've done some videos of like doing digital sketches where I'll show all of that from start to finish, like more simple stuff than this, like little cartoon characters and things. So but no, that's a good question. That is a good question. But yeah, I'm not confident in that process for sure. Like, I think that's one area that, you know, like I'll go to Comic Cons and I'll see like George Perez or Dan Jurgens, or, you know, one of those guys that like they've just been drawing for decades and decades, and they can just, you know, sit down and rough out like a really rough human form. And obviously, I mean, they've put tons of their life into this, but they make it look easy, right? The same way I always say on certain things that I do, I make it look easy. And, you know, it just looks like they just throw a few lines down and then it becomes like Superman or something, you know. But you have to realize how much time and repetition they've put in over the years to be able to do that. And so if you're known for, you know, a certain character or something, it gets easier to do that kind of thing, right? If you're the artist who always draws Spider-Man or Superman or whoever, you get to know that character, and you can just sit down and do it like pencils and whatever. It's no big deal. And like, I think my go-to one at like Epcot and stuff would be like a Boba Fett. Like I can just bust out like a Boba Fett helmet, like a simple cartoony one or something, pretty easy, and then I can do that without panicking or without having a panic attack. Whitney, redeemed to hydrate. Thank you. Cheers to you. Quinch Press says it's a good way to get a line going at your booth. People who can draw and talk at cons almost always do well. Yeah, you're right. Like, I think the reason I never liked to do sketches at cons was that I couldn't carry on a conversation while doing it. I had to like have my head down and be all like concentrating on everything. And now I feel like, you know, if Comic-Cons came back, I could be better at it for sure. And you know, the truth is that like I'm just not in demand as a sketch artist because other than Star Wars, I'm not really known for it. You know, I mean, all the stuff I do with comic books is color and paint. So I'll get a few like comic sketch requests here and there, but not like someone who is a comic book penciler, which I'm not. So I'm okay with that. I certainly know my place and where I stand on things. That's okay. I've got no weird feelings or regrets about that. Talilak the Rain God just hosted the stream. Oh, thank you so much, Talilak. Long time no see. Monique says crap. I don't know what Monique crapped about, but someone let me know. Did I do something, Monique? Did something happen on your end? As always, inquiring minds want to know. But Quinch, don't think that I'm like negating what you said. You're 100% right. I mean, like Todd Knock, I'm coloring some of his Stargirl artwork right now, and I remember like, you know, if the con opens at 9 o'clock, by 9:05, his sketch list for the day is completely full. You know, so. Whitney says, I watched Stan Sakai and Steve Lieber sketch a couple of my books, and it was fascinating watching all those random lines make a picture at the end. Yeah, that's the cool part, right? Monique says, I looked at the date and I realized it's the 23rd, so I'm 3 days late on my resub again. Uh-oh. Are you using Prime, Monique? I don't remember if you're a Prime person or not. I'm sure they've got the... Oh, there she goes. Whitney says, you're a colorist. We can just bring you coloring books instead of sketch request. Yeah, right. Monique just resubscribed with Prime. So, you know, Monique, it don't cost you a dime to resubscribe with Streamlabs Prime. Boom, there you go. And she got her 2-month streak still. Way to go. Now, it's a 2-month streak, but you're in for longer overall, right? I don't, because you were one of our first supporters, so I'm sure you're in for like 11 months going on 12 months or something. Oh, 9 months total. Okay, good job. Oh, I see it there. Monique subscribed to the Prime. They've subscribed for 9 months. They're currently on a 2-month streak. There you go. I just had to read what the chat bot says. When he says, I'm just bad I missed my reset at 7 months. Yeah, right? And especially, I know you don't do the icon with the hat, but I wonder if you lose your hat that way too. Woody says, I love my Todd Knott commission. I got done in 2019, one of the jewels of my collection. Yeah, Todd, first of all, amazing person, like super awesome guy, and his wife is great too. On top of that, fantastic artist. You know, like beyond whatever natural talent and ability he has, obviously puts in the time and the effort. Every page that, like, I'm working on a Stargirl book that he's penciling right now, every page is a masterpiece and like well thought out. There's no panels that look like they were phoned in. And, you know, I've worked on a lot of comic books and you can't always say that. So he's like really putting his heart and soul into everything. And yeah, his sketches are fantastic as well. So, you know, I'm not a penciler. I don't claim to be a penciler. And I probably have a lot of weird hang-ups because I've been around so many like really awesome pencilers my whole life. I'm definitely not one of those people that are like, my sketches are awesome. You should pay me $1 million. Quinch says, Todd and Dawn are great. Yeah, they are. They're fantastic. They are absolutely fantastic. All right, let's start throwing some shading on this. I guess we'll start out with all the black shadows. Quinch says, my first ever con purchase was from them. Oh, I didn't know that, Quinch. That's great. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Yeah, Todd's great. Like, I would call Todd a superstar in the comic book industry for sure. But at the same time, it's weird that he doesn't have the same sort of buzz that like a J. Scott Campbell has, because he's, I guess he hasn't had his own creations or whatever per se, but he's really good and like consistently good. But I think there's a segment of the fandom that just isn't aware, and they probably like his art and they don't even know. I would bet that's the case. But I feel that way about certain artists. I think like Aaron Lopristi is also consistently at the top of his game. Like, everything he does is good, but he's not always like as in demand as he probably should be. Catherine, ready to hydrate? Well, Catherine, let me give this a shake and a pour. There we go. That's all she wrote on that. Cheers to you, Catherine. Thank you so much. And Catherine, be sure to come back Thursday for Jim and the Holograms Part 3. I'm having so much fun with that sketch. I hope you guys are enjoying it too. I'm putting way too much time into it. I want to show you guys where I'm at on this though, because it's been a labor of love. So I finished the pencils for Kimber today. Let's see if we can get that on screen. There we go. So got a few little details to work out on her before I start painting her on Thursday, but got that all roughed out. And this is all based on like the package art and stuff. So not my original designs. I would never claim that, but having fun with it. Hope you guys are enjoying the streams. And then after Jim is done, I've got a Boba Fett coming up and an Obi-Wan coming up. So, and the Boba Fett has a twist, so it'll be something a little different. So definitely stay tuned for that. Whitney shared a link of his commission, so let's take a look at that. Oh, that's a nice one. Yeah, that's really good. I like that. And look at all the time he put in the background and everything. So good. Yeah, Todd's great. Like, sometimes you see another artist's work, and like, I'm not one of those that beat myself up or anything, but you just go, hey, good on them. We should all be so talented and be able to do that kind of stuff. So, nicely done. When he says, had to watch the YouTube version instead of live. Yeah, well, that's all right. That's all right. I'll keep doing them. So we'll do Kimber Thursday and then Aja next week, and it'll be done. So that'll be a fun one. I've really gotten into it. I've always been a fan, and like I said before, I've drawn Jim a few times, but I've never got to do the whole group and really take my time and try to do a nice version. So this has been fun. Look forward to seeing it, like how it comes out when it's all done, because I think it'll be pretty nice. When he says that's looking great. Speaking of YouTube, the bonus footage at the end was fun. I don't remember what the bonus footage at the end was, but you can remind me. Catherine says it looks truly outrageous. That's right, truly outrageous. You know, Christy will tease me about some of the stuff I liked as a kid, but I still like it. I still dig it. I am not embarrassed or ashamed at all. Not in the slightest. I think that some people can take some things too seriously, and I like a lot of things that are lighthearted and fun, and I appreciate it. And also, I mean, I'm very in touch with like my feminine energy, and I was always into stuff like that. So, you know, I think I pay just as much attention to like fashion and makeup and hair as I do superheroes and stuff. So I've got definitely no apologies for me for my love of Jim and the Holograms. Monique says that sketch turned out really good, Whitney. Whitney says there's about 5 minutes of you typing and staring at the computer and talking about the Yard House. Is there really? Huh. I had no idea. Well, there you go. Interesting. That must be a YouTube exclusive. Maybe it's part of our multi-stream now. Well, let me tell you, whatever happened at the Yard House didn't happen. That stuff got canceled. That's so funny. Now I know even Streamlabs is spying on me. The bonus footage, that's great. We always watching past the credits waiting for stingers. Yeah, right? Oh, you know, I hadn't thought about that. But I bet when I'm doing the new multi-stream that goes to Facebook and YouTube, I bet when we raid, you've just made me think about this. I bet when we raid another channel, it just keep showing whatever it is that's going on. Well, now I have a new thing to add to my mental checklist. It's just to click the in stream button as soon as we raid, because it's probably still playing live video on YouTube and on Facebook. That's hilarious. It'd be great if it was a scene out of a movie, and as soon as like I thought we were off the air, I was like, "Screw Twitch and all those people in the chat. They suck." Monique says, most of my pieces are signed rock posters from various people or Joe Croney and Brian Miller art. I felt almost bad, like I was cheating on them when I stepped out and bought a J.J. Lindell piece that I fell in love with. Now, mind you, this is one still in the plastic wrap from the framers, and it's much simpler, and you find a place to hang it. I was going to see which JJ you got. Oh, you got one of his X-Files ones. Cool. That's cute. That's really nice. Well done. JJ is also a very nice person, so on my list of like approved people to fraternize with. And like JJ's, I don't know what JJ's technique or anything is, but like talk about output. Like JJ creates so much artwork at such a rapid pace. I don't even know how. I'm too slow. I can't. I'm too slow, and I like too wrapped up in like the concept and working it out and all that kind of stuff. I can't. When he says that makes sense, I kind of thought it was something like that. Yeah. Now that you made me think about it, I'm like, oh, that's probably what's happening. Hey, at least I know now. I can be aware of that. Just have to remember. Yeah, I'm sure that's what it is. Once we start rating and stuff, it probably just keeps playing live to the other two services. When he says, hey, Monique, that one's a lot of fun. Yeah, JJ's great. JJ does great art. Some really, really nice pieces. You know, especially we're in an industry that can just chew up and spit out artists and it's nice to see JJ just creating so much content right now. Because, you know, I mean, like, Joe Caroni's a good example of an artist who's been able to stay around with, like, Star Wars and stuff for decades, but that's not usually how it goes, you know? I mean, usually after 5 or 6 years, they're ready to move on to whoever the new hot thing is, or the new look, or whatever, you know? So, it's nice to see people who are either able to just sustain, or that are able to, you know, create like a significant amount of output in whatever window they have. Monique says, I have Joe's weekly weird news covers with the Lone Gunman 2 and your X-Files that I framed and matted that came out so amazing. Yeah, those weekly weird news ones were fun. And I had fun on the X-Files comics. I kind of wish I could have got to do more, but I have a you know, an interesting relationship with IDW, in that they're one of the few publishers, they're one of maybe 2 that I can think of that deal with me as a colorist and as an illustrator. Now, the illustration part is pretty few and far between with them, but when it happens, it's usually good, so it's been nice. You know, you tend to get pigeonholed and stuff in your industry, and so, you know, once a publisher thinks of you as a colorist, they're probably not likely to think of you as an illustrator. And so it's nice when you can work with one that will that has the foresight to let you do both, you know. And I think I would say, like, Brian Polito is another one like that, where I've, you know, in the past done some coloring for him, and I've also illustrated some covers, and, you know, hopefully we'll continue to do both in the future. So, and it's interesting, you know, he has his own fan following, and so some of his fans are discovering my artwork and collecting it, and it's kind of nice to see things like that work out, you know. Whitney says, you can do some of my little pony covers for IDW. I know someone watching who would love that. Yeah, I would love that too. You know, I should have pressed on that when Katie was writing, because she and I are friends, and she might have been able to, like, push that through or something. But now I don't know. I don't know if they would go for that, but it would be a fun one to try. I'll tell you something I'd really like to do is the new She-Ra. I mean, I know they've already ended the series, which is a shame. But those seasons were so good, and those characterizations were so amazing. And I've done a lot of sketches of those characters just for fun. And I guess a few commissions, but that's one that, like, you know, I would love to do, like, covers or something official for that. Because, you know, I just love the property so much. And I think, I don't know, I mean, there's gigs you do because you like it, there's gigs you do because you get paid, but overall, I try to stick with stuff that I'm passionate about, because I think it shows, I think it makes a difference. And I'm very fortunate. Like, you know, I'd say about half my fan base are men and half are women, and that's pretty unusual. And so I really appreciate that, because I feel like I have a strong connection with a lot of different people, and not just like one thing, you know, one genre. Which is nice. The downside of that is that I can be, like, really scattered. I like too many different things, and I'm not, you know, in these modern times, they want you, like, niche down as narrow as possible, you know. But I can't help it. It's like the variety is what keeps me interested, you know. Whitney says or that one. Quinch Press says, I still don't have my Batgirl that I commissioned from Joe back on October 25th. He posted a progress pic on Instagram on February 10th, but nothing since. I'm sure it'll be worth the wait. Yeah, and Quinch, I know he's been working on some sketch cards because he's been posting a lot of those. Oh wow, that in progress pic does look really nice. But I'm sure if you reach out to him and just be like, hey Joe, when you're done with your current batch of sketch cards, you know, I'd love it if you could finish up my sketch. I'm sure he would make that a priority for you. I can say as an artist, it's so tough to keep everybody happy on timeline stuff because you're always trying to balance the like paying your bills with what projects are coming in the door, you know. So, Quench Press, reading to hydrate. Cheers to you. Quench says, what are you drinking? Tonight's the zombie. The pink zombie, right? There you go. Zombie. So, golden rum, dark rum, pineapple juice, pink grapefruit juice, sugar, lime, grenadine, 151, all kinds of good stuff. Whitney says, I'm going to share this for Whitney and everyone to see. These are some of my favorite pieces as far as framing goes, and the travel tags rank right up with these. Oh, thanks for sharing, Monique. Oh, the X-Files and the Ziggy Stardust. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Man, I had so much fun doing those. I would love to do more X-Files and more music-related posters. I think the music stuff is its own niche, and Dark Ink Art, they were kind of going down that road for a while, but they changed art directors, and I don't think they're really doing anything like that anymore. But I had so much fun with the David Bowie stuff. I would love to do more. Oh, Quinch Press says, Whitney was asking what I was drinking. Oh, well, what are you drinking tonight, Quinch Press? Tell us. Don't leave us hanging. Monique says those came out beautifully. Yeah, oh man, thanks for sharing that, Monique. Those are some of my favorites. And I'm looking at the Ziggy Stardust, and I'm trying to remember, is that the one with the glow-in-the-dark ink or not? I know there were 3 variations on that. I couldn't remember which one. Regardless, it was my favorite colorway. The blue and the red was my favorite. Monique says yes. Yeah, the one with the glow and dark, yeah. That was my favorite. I mean, the psychedelic one was pretty cool, too. The one with the black ink wasn't my idea, and I was not... I mean, I was fine with it that they did it, but I thought it was too harsh with the black ink. But I know a lot of people bought it, so... You know, the galleries know what their collectors want most of the time. And so I have to trust their instincts. And I admit that even sometimes when I'm like, I feel strongly about things, they tend to be right, so... to give them credit where credit's due. When he says, I definitely got the glow in the dark. When he says, I really like the Metallica posters Nakatomi's been doing. Oh yeah, those are cool. You saying the word Nakatomi reminds me that I did some Die Hard artwork that never saw the light of day, some anniversary artwork. And I don't think it ever will see the light of day, which is unfortunate because it was really fun, but it happens. More than you think it happens. I mean, I definitely think more of my artwork gets published than not. I mean, definitely, for sure. Like, it's probably less than 10% that goes unpublished, but it is interesting how many of these projects start out with, like, all these companies, like, super excited, and then something happens, and they pull the license or whatever, you know, and the next thing you know, or the movie is a flop or whatever it is, the next thing you know, it's just like they're like, okay, none of that's ever going to be released. And you're like, what? Like I just spent months of my life on that. And they're like, yeah, too bad. When he says Patreon needs to see that stuff, oh, it will for sure. When he says maybe during the bonus YouTube time, yeah, right. Quinch says I've already pinged him 3 or 4 times, not since January 19th. Oh, about the sketch, yeah. And then Quinch says I actually just made my drink. Oh, late to the party, Quinch. Late to the party. Can we tolerate that, people? I don't know. You call yourself a connoisseur? Just teasing. Alright, that's coming along. Alright. Cheers to me. Oh, this is for Whitney. Thank you, Whitney. Cheers. Alright, let's go for maybe the 60% gray. Been a while since we've done markers, so this is fun. Monique says, hey Quinch, it took him months to get my Barnabas Collins sketch done. I'm not sure when I commissioned it, but he didn't get to it till Christmas. And then I got it in the mail like a month ago, maybe. Oh, and she was saying she's close enough she could have picked it up. Yeah, look, I mean, every artist I know, and myself included, sometimes we're right on the ball with things, sometimes we get behind, sometimes we're not feeling inspired on certain days, so I'm sure whenever it's done, it'll be amazing. I mean, it's Joe freaking Caroni we're talking about here. Of course it's going to be amazing. Legendary sci-fi artist Joe Caroni. Quinch Press says, tonight my drink is Zaya rum, European rum, OFTD rum, Toots cinnamon clove liqueur, Tempest Fugit creme de banana, Portuguese cold brew, and aromatic bitters. Monique says, I'm sure it will get to you in time and will be awesome. Yeah, I would agree with Monique's statement there, is that it will be worth the wait. I think, like I said, I mean, Joe's just, he's raised the bar on his sketch game so much. I think it's from all the sketch cards he's been doing. It's just like, he's in the zone, I mean, I'm sketching, 2 times a week right now, and he's on it like all the time. So, like the stuff he's producing is really, really nice right now. Quinch says, I fell asleep on the couch about an hour before the stream and woke up at 7:15, still feeling groggy, so I wanted something with cold brew in it. Well, that was smart. Look at the big brain on Quinch Press. It's like he knows what he's doing. I just wish that I fell asleep on the couch. Are you kidding me? I'm beat, man. I'm running like crazy right now trying to get these projects and stuff done. It's a little overwhelming. Not complaining, I'm happy to have the work, but it is a little much. I might have a few other irons in the fire. I got contacted by a few different people this week, so we'll see what else is going on. But it's feast or famine as an artist, so you take things when they come, because the next month you might not have anything. So you just go with it. Just run with it. Quinchper says, I said above that I was sure that she'll be worth the wait. Oh yeah, for sure. Monique's like, I'm suffering from old people syndrome. Lol. I don't know if old people syndrome is a thing, but we definitely all have our little brain farts here and there, that's for sure. Just doing a little bit of shading on this guy. Give him a little bit of depth. So before anybody asks, no, I have not watched the Snyder Cut yet. But if you have, I'm so interested in what you have to say about it. I've kind of been avoiding it. I don't know why. I'm afraid of disappointment, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't be, but I am. Monique says, it's because I'm old and tired and can't sleep, but I wish I could, and I forget the lots. Yeah, I have a friend, his ex-wife has been having sleeping problems, and she's up till like 4 a.m. just about every night, and then ends up, once she does fall asleep, she's sleeping until like, noon or 2 or something. It's just such a horrible cycle to get trapped into. I used to really suffer from insomnia, so I relate. It's so horrible. You just feel like you're just trapped in like a merry-go-round you can't get off of, Monique, redeem to hydrate. Cheers to you, Monique. Now, Quinch, we're not there yet, but I do want to say that whoever we raid tonight, if it is a successful raid, I will certainly be hanging out with you guys. No paints to clear up tonight or anything like that, so like I always say, you can count me in for at least 10 minutes, maybe more. Really got kind of fun with this one tonight. I'm keeping it loose, just kind of going with the flow. Not trying to get uptight or anything. Like more like a gestural kind of sketch, just like finding the energy of like the Tiki idol here and just kind of going with it. Tiki idol energy. That'll be what all the self-help gurus are pushing next. Like, you gotta use your Tiki idol energy, man. And you'll be like, yeah, I know, but you're like, no, you gotta do it. You gotta use the Tiki energy. Oh, I see how it's going to go here. Quinch Press says, I'm having a little El Pasador del Oro Gran Reserva rum straight. Nice. Quinch Press says, Evan's not here, but it's Gilligan time. Yeah, we can do that. Let me just do a little bit more of this dark gray, and then I'll switch gears here. And then we'll come back and move to a lighter shade, so this will be a good jumping off point. Yeah, that'll work. Maybe just a little shadow under here. Okay. Yep, we can Gilligan. Hey, Taco MD, good to see you. I'm having zombie tonight. So cheers to you, Taco MD. Quench Press is going to make me sing the Gilligan theme song, so hang out for a minute and we'll come back.
You want customers from ads
commercials.
Scale much further? Our software Hyros will do that for you.
Commercials.
Or you don't pay for it. No, seriously. If you put Hyros on your website.
Let's see. Here's the zombie recipe I'm using. It's from the Great Tiki Drink book, which is one of my favorites. And this one is golden rum, dark rum, pineapple juice, grapefruit juice, sugar, lime, grenadine, passion fruit, 151 rum. So lots of good stuff in there. Hopefully you can see that. That's the one I'm going with. It's very tasty, very nice. And alcohol forward, which I was definitely in the mood for. Alrighty, guys. Okay, here we go. A little Gilligan's Island theme song. Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailor man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. The weather started getting rough. The tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. Ship set ground on the shore of this uncharted desert isle, with Gilligan, the skipper too, the millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the professor and Mary Ann. They're all here on Gilligan's Island. All right, there we go. Cheers, guys. We did it again. One more Gilligan's Island in the books. I don't know, what is that, 1,000? We're pretty close to 1,000, I think. Dr. Taco says that's like a blend of both zombies. Oh, okay. Well, that's a good way to do it. Quench Press says aloha. Dr. Taco says nothing wrong with that. Dr. Taco says, are you drinking something tiki night, Quench Press? Yes, Quench, please tell Dr. Taco what it is you're drinking tonight, because it sounded good. Sounded very good. And while you do that, I'm going to put some little wood grain on our sign here. Get some little texture going. Celebrating the Outrigger Long Beach. Gone but not forgotten. Tiki Bar, Motor Lodge, Polynesian Restaurant, all of these things. Sadly, no longer with us, though. Quench Press says, hey, Dr. Taco, it's rum, but not necessarily tiki. Zaya rum, European rum, OFTD rum, Toot cinnamon clove liqueur, Tempest Fugit creme de banana, Portuguese cold brew, and aromatic bitters. Dr. Taco says, interesting! Quench Press says, and I'm also sipping some El Pasador del Oro Gran Reserva rum straight, as you do, as one does. When you've had a rough day, you just need to unwind. And you just pour that rum straight into your glass without any mixer. You go, you know what? I'm okay with that. That'll work for me today. And you just celebrate the rum as it is. Les Dudas says, interesting! We didn't know you were here, Les Dudas. Did you just join, or you just been like in lurk mode all night? Or just come in just for the Gilligan's Island song, which, you know, is fine. Dr. Taco says, I mean, banana cinnamon rum sounds like a tiki profile. And Pasador, Guatemalan, basically Zacapa. Monique says, I've got myself a Cuban daiquiri, Caribbean rum, cherry liqueur, lime, and grapefruit juice. Well, that doesn't sound bad at all. Quinch says, yep, it's Guatemalan. Dr. Taco says, bottled for Total Wine, if I remember correctly. Oh, look at the big brain on Dr. Taco. Boom. Somewhere the manager of Total Wine is crying himself to sleep right now. Let's do this. I just got here in time for the interesting right around Gilligan's Island. Quinchbread says, yeah, it was a Total Wine purchase, still not going out, so dealing with what I can get delivered, man. I hear that. I know we had our big discussion earlier about when is it going to be safe to support our favorite tiki bars in person. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I saw that Arizona is opening up the vaccine to, what is it, people 18 and older, 16 and older? It's pretty aggressive, whichever it is. And I applaud them for doing that. I give my state a lot of crap, but I will give them credit when it's due, and they've been doing, at least Phoenix area has been doing a really good job of getting the vaccine out to a lot of people. So kudos to them. Let's hope everybody can get the vaccine. I know there's a lot of crazy people who don't want it, but think about somebody else, not just yourself. You could be saving a life. The life that you save, it could be your own, but it could also be someone else's. So you never know. All right. All right, guys. Let me know what you think about this tonight. I kind of had fun with this one. A little loose. Just kind of a celebration of another one of our missing tiki bars. Dr. Taco says it's rebranded Zacapa and it's on the sweeter end, and Quinch says yes. So there you go. No, it's not a rum rant. It's fine. We want in depth. We're actually going to do like a whole mixology episode coming up here pretty soon. So we welcome your input, Dr. Taco. Quinch Press says Arizona is doing 16 plus. If the site has Pfizer, 18 plus if they only have Moderna or Johnson & Johnson. Oh, that's interesting. When he says, I've been trying to find a location with the vaccine here, but nothing available. 100% public is a week or two away, so maybe more options. Hey, Whitney, look into volunteering in your area. If you volunteer at a vaccine site, they may just vaccinate you. So I know that's been something that's been happening here. For people who maybe would be lower on the list, that's a good way to contribute to the greater good and also get yourself vaccinated. So worth looking into. All right. Quinchbro says, hey, Dr. Taco, I'm getting into more sipping rums lately. Any recommendations in the $40 to $60 bottle range? That's a good question. Dr. Taco says Chairman's Reserve Forgotten Cask, St. Lucian Rum, both around the $45 range. One of my favorites. I bought a friend some Appleton Reserve 15 or 20-year-old, not sure which now. And I was at his place, and he never opened it. He had never opened it. And so I suggested we make some cocktails. And I start to put a little in. He's like, no. I'm not really a fan of the dark rum. And I'm thinking, why did I waste the bottle on you? But it's okay. I give it freely. It was a gift. Just a little disappointed that he hadn't even opened the bottle yet. Whitney says, our vaccine sites haven't opened yet. Oh my gosh, Whitney, no way. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Well, I hope they open really soon. Dr. Taco says Appleton 12 is in that range and great. 15 is a Canadian release. Appleton 12 is here for around 40. And it's great. Quinchpress says, I was talking with a friend in England about Chairman's Reserve recently. Not that easy to get here in Arizona. Dr. Taco says the Appleton 21 is 100 to 125. So yeah, significant price jump for sure. Man, we've got such a great chat going on. I hate to disrupt it, but I'm going to run the credits, and then we will come back, and we're going to do a raid. Now remember, you earn 250 points for raiding, and I'm going to hang out with you guys for at least the first 10 minutes of the raid. So don't go anywhere. We'll run the credits. We'll be right back. Woohoo! Thank you, Monique. Really appreciate it. That is our celebration of the Outrigger Inn tonight. How fun was that? Just a little bit of a flashback to the 1960s. Tiki idol, cool sign. You gotta love it. And of course, the zombie from the Great Tiki Drink Book, always worth checking out. Quinchpress says, I've got a bottle of the Appleton 12-year rare cask that I bought from Undertow, and I love it. It's about 80% gone. I need to get some more Appleton. Dr. Taco says, Appleton 12, Chairman's Reserve Forgotten Cask, worthy. Park single estate, and a little more probably creeping in the 65 to 70, but one of the best rums in the world. We'll check that out, guys, for sure. And, you know, my Appleton story is that we stayed at a resort in Jamaica, that every room had a open bar, and it was all Appleton, and it didn't matter if it was fresh, you know, 1-year-old or if it was 20-year-old. You could drink whatever you wanted. So that was really nice. That was my introduction. Dr. Taco says Mountain Gay and Black Barrel are also great and they're everywhere. Yeah, I went to the Mountain Gay distillery, and I have to say, I was impressed. Like, they have some really nice bottles there, so it was a good time. All right, so get your likes, get your cheers ready, get your emotes ready. We are going to raid here in just a few short seconds. We're going to do it. Quinchpress says Cody. Okay, I'm gonna look at that one. I will find that. Cody. There is. All right. So yes, definitely get your likes, get your cheers ready. And come back Thursday for the Gem and the Holograms Part 3. Dr. Taco says, I love Barbados rums. Yeah, they're so good. They're so good. So, guys, I will see you on Thursday. Thanks so much for hanging out tonight. Thanks for following. Thank you for subscribing. Thanks for supporting me on Patreon. It's helping me get through the pandemic. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for Dr. Taco for hanging out and giving us all that good rum advice. So stay on target and let's raid.